Recess week for Congress. It's always good for us and fun for us, too, because we get to see both sides of our delegation. Michael McCall was here earlier this week. Lloyd Doggett is here this week. It's always good to see him. He always makes it a point to come see us, one of our good friends here. So welcome. Glad to have you.
Good morning, Joe. Always good to come.
Boy, we've got 6 minutes, I guess, to get through the entire agenda this year. Education's big. What's going on there?
Well, as a product of the public schools with daughters and now granddaughter in public schools here, I hate to see what's happening in Texas. We've had strong schools, particularly here in the Central Texas area, and I believe that our focus ought to be on how can we make them stronger, how can we get more education quality for our dollar. Instead, what I see happening is a decimating of these schools. Our teachers can hardly focus on more quality when they're just trying to survive, when up to 1,200 people are on the chopping block, 1,200 positions here in Austin. Talking about closing neighborhood schools, many of which have been star performers. I just think this is nonsense, and that we need to change the whole discussion. This isn't happening because we're a Mississippi and cannot afford quality public education. We can afford it, and if we let public education continue to decline with these massive cuts, we will not be competitive with the Chinese, with the Germans. We will be building a future that doesn't only close opportunity to our students, but closes opportunity to our country. And that's
so what do we do?
Well, one of the modest things that I've been involved in now for over a year is just being sure that if we approve any federal aid to education in Washington, it actually aids schools in Texas. And what happened in the past is that when we sent some forms of aid to education to Texas, instead of getting it to the public schools, it was diverted at the state level to just replace the money the state already had put into education. Our schools didn't get any better off. So I sponsored a Save Our Schools amendment, and they really are sending out an SOS these days. And that amendment, if Governor Perry will simply sign a 3-page application, will get almost $19 million immediately to the Austin Independent School District, and a total of almost $1 billion to schools across the state of Texas.
But as I understand it, Perry's argument has always been he is constitutionally bound not to commit to a future budget, and that was the reason why he wouldn't accept a lot of federal money.
That was his excuse last year. Now we're in this year. The legislature is here. There's no reason he can't consult with the legislature just as he did when he signed the same type of application 2 years ago. That's what we're asking him to do. I've yet to hear any valid reason. I don't think the Constitution was really valid, but if it was a valid reason, it's no longer there because the legislature is here, and all we're asking him to do is work with the legislature to see that the state budget does not discriminate against public education. If they cut it, it's bad, but that's their decision.
Right.
As long as they aren't discriminating against our schools and simply using the federal money to replace state, as long as we're able to get these dollars to the students that need them and avoid some of these layoffs and terrible school closures, that will get the job done.
Are you optimistic that'll happen?
Well, I haven't given up. The suggestion has already come that they would file an application eventually. They can't cite a valid policy reason. They attempt and really failed to repeal the amendment, and it's still viable. There's still a chance. And what better time to get that $19 million, $18 million to the Austin School District than over the next few months. I think they have a vote coming up about what they do with school closures, what they do with terminating positions. That's not Austin. That's not the strong public school system that I've benefited from, and our family benefited from. We need to support public education, and these dollars are not the only ones necessary, but they're some of the dollars to get the job done.
True.